Right now, while you're watching this video, 247 Filipinos are boarding planes to a country that didn't even make the top 20 list just 5 years ago. If you're Filipino or know someone who is, what I'm about to show you could change everything you thought you knew about where our people are really going in 2025. According to the Commission on Filipinos Overseas 2024 report, Filipino migration patterns shifted by 340% in directions nobody predicted. Take Maria Santos, a 28-year-old nurse from Cebu. She packed her bags thinking she was moving to Dubai for the usual Middle East opportunity. She ended up in a country she couldn't even pronounce 6 months earlier. What happened next will shock you, but first, let me show you the 7 countries that are absolutely exploding with Filipino migrants right now. Number 7, Ireland. Ireland is experiencing what experts call a Filipino explosion, but there's a dark side no one talks about. We're looking at an 89% increase in the Filipino population from 2020 to 2024, jumping from 12,000 to 23,000 people. That's almost doubled in just 4 years. Meet Roberto Cruz, a 34-year-old IT specialist from Manila. He thought Ireland would be his European dream. Clean air, good economy, English-speaking country, what could go wrong? Everything. His first winter hit him like a freight train. Depression crept in, he couldn't find Filipino food anywhere, and the isolation was crushing. I felt like I was living in a beautiful prison, he told me. But here's the turning point. Roberto found a Filipino community center in Dublin, and everything changed. Now he helps other newcomers adapt to Irish life. According to a Trinity College Dublin study from 2024, 73% of Filipino migrants experience what researchers call cultural adjustment syndrome in their first 6 months. The solution? Ireland now requires pre-migration cultural preparation courses for work visas. But Ireland's growth is nothing compared to what's happening in country number 6. Number 6, Portugal. Portugal went from having almost 0 Filipinos to becoming the number 2 choice in Europe. Here's the crazy reason why. We're talking about 267% growth from 2019 to 2024, from just 3,200 to 11,800 Filipinos. Luz Reyes, 41, moved to Lisbon in 2022 as a domestic worker. She spoke no Portuguese and lived in cramped quarters with 6 other women. She cried herself to sleep for 3 months straight, questioning every decision that brought her there. But Luz learned Portuguese through the Filipino community and now owns a successful catering business serving both Filipino and Portuguese clients. Here's what's fascinating. The European Migration Observatory reported in 2024 that Portugal's Golden Visa program attracted 1,847 Filipino investors. Wait, investors? Most people think it's just domestic workers, but that's not the full story. Many start as domestic workers and transition to entrepreneurship once they understand the system. But there's one European country growing even faster, and it's not what you think. Number 5, Germany. If you've made it this far, you're clearly enjoying the ride, so why not make it official? Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a twist, a mystery, or a jaw-dropping story. Trust me, what's coming next will leave you speechless. With that said, let's get back to the video. Germany is experiencing what migration experts call the Filipino healthcare invasion, but it's not what it sounds like. We're seeing a 156% increase in Filipino healthcare workers from 2021 to 2024, and there's a reason why Germans are actually celebrating this invasion. Carlos Mendoza, a 29-year-old physical therapist from Davao, arrived in Berlin speaking basic German. His first patient was an elderly German woman who refused his care because of his accent. I could do the job perfectly, Carlos said, but she made me feel like I didn't belong. He almost quit after 2 weeks. His confidence was completely shattered. The German integration program paired Carlos with a local mentor, and everything shifted. Today, he's training other Filipino healthcare workers and has the highest patient satisfaction ratings in his clinic. The German Federal Statistical Office found that Filipino healthcare workers show a 94% retention rate, the highest among all immigrant groups. Germany now offers intensive German language programs before arrival because they've realized how valuable we are to their system. But here's where things get really interesting. Number 4, New Zealand. New Zealand's Filipino population just hit a tipping point that's making locals nervous, and the government is responding in ways you wouldn't expect. We're looking at 198% increase from 2020 to 2024, from 40,000 to 119,000 Filipinos. That's almost triple in 4 years. Jenny Flores, a 33-year-old teacher from Iloilo, moved to Auckland for better opportunities. The reality? House prices were so insane she lived in her car for 3 weeks. She called her mom crying, ready to come home. I felt like I made the biggest mistake of my life, she admitted. But here's the plot twist. Jenny discovered New Zealand's massive teacher shortage crisis. She found shared housing with other Filipino teachers and realized she wasn't just taking a job, she was filling a critical need. Today, she helps recruit Filipino teachers and just earned New Zealand citizenship. The New Zealand Immigration Department reported that Filipinos now comprise 23% of all skilled migrants. The hidden concern? The local housing crisis is intensifying, and the government is considering caps on migration. But nothing, and I mean nothing, compares to what's happening in our top 3 countries. Before we reveal the top 3, here's something that will blow your mind. The number 1 country on our list doesn't even have full diplomatic relations with the Philippines in the way you'd expect. How is this even possible? Keep watching. Number 3, Japan. Japan? Yes, Japan is now home to the fastest growing Filipino community in Asia, and the reason why will leave you speechless. We're talking about 312% increase from 2019 to 2024, from 325,000 to over 1 million Filipinos. That's more than tripling in 5 years. Margie Delgado, a 38-year-old factory worker from Bataan, moved to rural Japan where she was the only Filipino for 50 kilometers. The language barrier was so severe she communicated through drawings for 6 months. Imagine trying to explain you need medicine by drawing stick figures. But a local Japanese family essentially adopted her into their community, taught her Japanese while she taught them Tagalog. Her story went viral in Japan, and now she's a cultural ambassador helping other Filipinos integrate. Japan Immigration Services found that Filipino integration has an 87% success rate, the highest among all foreign nationals. Japan's aging population crisis is creating massive opportunities, but here's the plot twist no one saw coming. The top 2 countries are about to shatter everything you think you know about Filipino migration. Number 2, Australia. Australia's Filipino boom isn't just big, it's reshaping entire cities, and the government is both terrified and thrilled. We're seeing 289% growth in skilled Filipino migrants from 2021 to 2024. This isn't your typical migration story. Tommy Santos, a 31-year-old engineer from Quezon City, landed in Perth with $500 and a dream. His first job interview? Rejected for being overqualified. He worked in fast food for 8 months, questioning every life choice. But Tommy started an engineering consulting firm and now employs 47 people, 31 of them Filipino. Australia fast-tracked 12,000 Filipino visa applications in 2024 alone. The Australian Bureau of Statistics confirmed that Filipinos are now the fastest-growing skilled migrant group. Regional areas are struggling to accommodate the influx, but they desperately need the skilled workers. But Australia's growth is nothing compared to our number 1 country, a place that's breaking every migration record in history. Number 1, Saudi Arabia. The number 1 fastest growing Filipino destination will shock you because it's not where you think, it's not what you expect, and it's happening right now at a scale that's never been seen before. We're looking at a 445% increase in Filipino professionals from 2022 to 2024, and this goes way beyond traditional overseas Filipino workers. Dr. Sarah Villanueva, a 35-year-old pediatrician from Manila, moved to Riyadh expecting traditional constraints and limitations. The reality? She's now leading Saudi Arabia's largest children's hospital modernization project. What she discovered changed her entire worldview. Saudi Vision 2030 is specifically recruiting Filipino professionals for leadership roles. Sarah now trains Saudi doctors, bridging two cultures while earning triple her Manila salary. We're talking about over 2.3 million Filipinos now in Saudi Arabia, the largest overseas Filipino community globally. The Saudi Ministry of Human Resources reported that Filipino professionals show the highest job performance ratings across all sectors. Here's the kicker. Saudi Arabia is planning to recruit 500,000 more Filipino professionals by 2030. That's not a typo. 500,000 more. But here's what nobody's telling you about all these opportunities. The mental health challenges are real. Family separation is brutal. Cultural adaptation stress is crushing for some people. Success stories are everywhere, but preparation is everything. So here's my question for you. If you could guarantee success in any of these 7 countries, but you had to leave everything familiar behind, which would you choose? More importantly, are these opportunities worth the sacrifice, or is there something we're all missing about staying home and building the Philippines? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one, and some of your stories might be featured in our next video. And if you think you know which country will be number 1 next year, you're probably wrong. I'll explain why in next week's video.